Otitis media is a middle ear infection and is common in childhood. The middle ear is the air-filled space between your eardrum and the inner ear. In the middle ear are the three small bones that transmit sound vibrations from your eardrum to your inner ear so you can hear. The eustachian tubes connect the middle ear to the back of your throat. Middle ear infections are the most common childhood infections other than colds. Ear infections occur most often in children between 6 months and 2 years of age. They are common until about age 8. Older children and adults can get ear infections, but they don't happen nearly as often as they do in younger children. Children get ear infections more often than adults because their eustachian tubes don't function as well as adults, and the tubing is smaller, and this allows fluid to gather behind the eardrum. Their immune systems are still developing, and they're around other kids in daycare and school, and they're more likely to catch illnesses from other children. About half of children with ear infections get fevers. In addition to ear pain and trouble hearing, kids can have trouble sleeping, loss of appetite, and drainage from the ear. You should never put anything in the ear canal if there's drainage, as anything touching the eardrum can cause more damage. Bacteria and viruses cause ear infections, often after a cold or another upper respiratory infection. The bacteria or viruses can travel up the eustachian tube into the middle ear and cause the tubes to swell. The swelling can cause the tube to become blocked, leading to fluid, then infection in your ear. Ear infections are not contagious, but the viruses or bacteria causing the infections are. Getting ear infections can run in families, and young children are at greater risk. Getting colds increases the risk of developing ear infections. Asthma and chronic respiratory diseases, air pollution, and secondhand smoke increase the risk of ear infections. Most ear infections don't cause long-term problems, but repeated ear infections or ongoing ear infections can cause temporary hearing loss. In young children, this can result in delayed speech and language development. Sometimes an eardrum can rupture. Most often this heals on its own, but if it doesn't, surgery may be necessary. Most of the time, ear infections can be diagnosed by symptoms and an office exam. Sometimes specialized hearing tests are needed. Many ear infections will heal without treatment, but antibiotics are used if bacteria are causing the infection. A follow-up exam is important to make sure the ear infection is cleared. For recurrent or chronic ear infections, an ear, nose, and throat specialist can place tubes during a procedure called a tympanostomy. It's a short procedure that takes about 10 minutes, and a small tube is placed into a tiny incision in the eardrum. The fluid is suctioned out before the tubes are put in. The tubes usually stay in place for 12 to 18 months and often fall out on their own. If not, they can be taken out by the ear, nose, and throat specialist. Breastfed babies tend to get fewer ear infections. If babies are bottle-fed, feeding them upright can prevent formula from flowing backward and collecting in the eustachian tubes. Staying up to date on vaccinations, good hand washing, and avoiding secondhand smoke are all things you can do. As always, talk to your healthcare provider. Keeping your family healthy is why they went through all that schooling. And remember to call an elder. They've been waiting for your call. I'm Dr. Arne Vainio, and this is Health Matters.